back block, and that's
He's a guy that throws his body around.
Mike Drop Sports.
Steel City Live.
Welcome back, everybody. A big Pittsburgh Steelers victory today here at Acrisure Stadium, and it was definitely a surprise for many. A surprise for me, however, I did pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to win today 28-14. We were pretty damn close on that one. I thought it was going to be a hard fought battle, and what we talk about during the pregame show turnovers, putting Daniel Jones on his back, causing pressure in Daniel Jones's face had to happen today. Control the run game, continue that theme. That happened. We have to give the Steelers defense credit today. They definitely came out, and the Bozos had a better game plan. But you heard them talk about it the whole damn broadcast, something that we've been talking about here on Mike Drop Sports all damn week. What do you got to do? Dumb it down, let them play, just let them go. Don't try to force the issue with schematics. Don't try to be over exotic. Don't try to be over the top with your schematic game plan. You must come in here and allow these guys to have free reign. Allow them to play ball. We talked about it all week. They talked about it on CBS the whole damn show, that's what the Steelers were trying to do. Dumb it down, trying to allow them to just play loose, fast, and free. That's what you got to do defensively sometimes, guys. You got to just allow guys to play football and quit trying to be so crazy with your schematics, because sometimes you just outthink yourself. Did the offense play as well as I think it could have? No, I don't think the offense played as good as it could have. I thought it played good. I thought it was awesome. Like, I'm not saying that, but I thought they could have played a hell of a lot better. I thought they left points out there today, but the defense showed up. So now, a 5-3 football team as the Pittsburgh Steelers now get back in their winning ways here. I still think that they have a lot of issues, man. A lot of things they got to figure out here. However, I thought it was a definite step in the right direction. I thought Kyle Duggar played well. I thought the Steelers were still giving up some of them weak pass plays, but I think they were sacrificing a little bit of that for schematics, or sacrificing some of the schematics to allow players to just play. And I think it overall worked out in their favor, and the turnovers were absolutely amazing. Peyton Wilson, what a game Peyton Wilson had today. I thought he was just fantastic. Interception, blocked and caused an interception for Jack Sawyer. He was just playing like a kid in the backyard, man. Joey Porter Jr., yeah, a couple penalties, but I told you I didn't care if he got penalties today. I don't care. I wanted him to play physical football. And I thought you saw that from Joey Porter Jr. today. I thought you saw his ball hawk skills there at the end, thankfully, after Roman Wilson's bonehead play trying to get extra yards. I know it was a boneheaded play, but Roman Wilson is trying to make the most of his opportunities. The guy's trying to earn playing time. That's what he's trying to do. I don't fault him, but it could have cost the Steelers a ball game. It really, really could have, in reality. Let's get to the live chat here after a big Pittsburgh Steelers win. My Floyd is Pink 79 victory wings. Jason, do I get garlic, parm, or hot? Glad our defense showed up today. Here we go. You gotta go with a thing called Cowboy Ranch, and I don't know if they have that where you're at. And it's a mixture of ranch and extra hot buffalo sauce, and the two just mesh together. Really are fantastic. But I'd go with garlic parm with a little bit of hot sauce on the side to dip in. That's how I roll, baby. But good, man. Good that you get your wings, man. The Scott. Well, no one saw that coming. Roman Wilson is an idiot. That's why he hasn't been playing. Hey, I picked them, man. I picked the Steelers 28-17 or 28-14. That was the score I picked. 27-4 or 17 was the score. So we'll take that one. But you're right. Nobody saw it coming. I thought they were going to get curb stomped too. But as we were doing the show, the score popped into my head, and that's what I picked. So I was pretty damn lucky on that one. Grant Ogren in the house, he says. Hold on. Let's get his comment up here. Did the Steelers actually just look like the Steelers? I don't want to go to get too excited. I'm happy today, but still, fear the Tomlin factor in December/January. Nonetheless, gonna enjoy this win. Yeah, let's just enjoy it. We'll talk about them and beat them down when they deserve it, because you know I do. And I agree with Grant. Let's just enjoy that win today. It was a fantastic performance. I thought that they showed up, man. I thought that they showed up in a big, big way. I thought the offense, though, sputtered a little bit at times. They should have had another touchdown down there that they weren't able to punch it in. But the defense just kept giving the ball back. And I thought what was really important was to continue to try to keep that defense off the field. My Lord, dude, they are out there an awful lot. And they got to get a little bit more balance there with the terms of the time of possession. We talked about that too. I thought it was definitely better today than it had been. One of those things where they played up to competition. Yeah, true. That seems to be a Steeler theme at times. I think Roman Wilson is here to stay. Let's be thankful his mishap didn't cost worse. Absolutely, and we'll just continue to watch the maturation of Roman Wilson. Hopefully, that continues to be on the right path. I don't know. He hadn't been getting the offense, so he wasn't getting opportunities. He's got 2 years left after this year. Who knows? Yeah, I think you'll see more and more of him, man. I think you'll see more and more of him. My Floyd is Pink 79. A lot of positives today, but what was the negative stuff that needs cleaned up, Jason? It's definitely some of the miscues offensively I thought needed cleaned up that weren't as crisp as I think they usually are. I thought they struggled a little bit inside of the red zone to produce points at times. But I think overall, I don't think that there was any real huge mistakes. And I think that that was great, but the offensive line still got to continue to try to be better. I still feel like they got to try to establish a run a little bit more. And you still can't give up those soft pass plays that they were giving up. And I understand they were sacrificing some of the schematics, but I still seen a lot of linebackers on wide receivers and shit. And I'm still not into that totally. I know sometimes you're forced into it. I just see too much of it is what I think is an issue. And I think also, I thought something that was really good was the way the Steelers have been able to control the run. Jonathan Taylor is the best in the league running the football. So we got to talk about that. You talk about the Colts rushing. Let's go into that, guys, real quick. Jonathan Taylor, 14 carries for only 45 yards, guys. The graphic up there for you guys to see. Daniel Jones got chipping in with 3 carries, 4 yards on some of the times that he was flush, but he did have a touchdown. But they limited Jonathan Taylor to no touchdowns, guys, which was absolutely phenomenal. Again, the final score was 27-20. Sorry, guys, forgive me. I forgot about the late field goal there. But the Steelers still 27-20. What a great win. And Jonathan Taylor only 45 yards rushing today. I thought that that was absolutely fantastic by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's dive into Daniel Jones statistics today. 31 of 50, and the Steelers really truly made the Indianapolis Colts one dimensional today. Again, 31 of 50 for 335 yards, one touchdown, but the big one, 3 interceptions. Also, he was strip sacked. That was big. But the 3 interceptions from Daniel Jones and the countless turnovers that the Steelers were producing was absolutely amazing. 31 of 50. Yeah, I think his pass yards are a little bit inflated there just because of the garbage time there at the end. They were trying to score. Yeah, they were giving up some soft zone coverage there and allowing some pass yards. But I thought overall the Steelers were really getting after Daniel Jones and forcing him to turn the ball over, which was absolutely massive. We look at the Steelers also. We'll talk about that and look at the Steelers, their statistics here in a few seconds. But again, a lot of positives. Bengals blow it to the Bears. They do lose. Damn. So the Bengals did end up losing. I know they had tied it up. What's up, Daniel? Thank you, man. Another Wallback grabbed a must-win victory. Abso-freaking-lutely a must-win. And we talked about that all week. This was a must-win, man. 4-4 as opposed to 5-3 is such a different world to live in if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I thought this game meant so much, not only inside of the AFC North, but inside of the whole conference, man. You're getting a win against a quality opponent, an opponent that was 7-1 and the number one seed currently inside of the AFC playoffs if they were to end today. But the Steelers now hold that win against the Colts. And at 7-1, now 7-2, you know they're going to be in the playoff picture. So guess what? Now the Steelers have that head-to-head win against a quality playoff team opponent. That could prove to pay off in a big, big way, guys. That could be a difference between a home or an away playoff game, and that is pretty damn cool that the Steelers were able to get that, no doubt about it. Challenger says, play calling a little conservative at times. Yeah, I thought so. I did too. I thought that they were loose in some ways, and I thought they were tight in some ways. So, yeah, I thought the play calling was conservative at times. But you have to respect what we talked about pregame. We talked about the safety play of the Indianapolis Colts, guys. That had to be respected. And you could not push the ball down the field like you would have hoped to. Yeah, you needed to draw them down with the run. It is what it is. But they weren't able to loosen that up enough for them to be able to push the ball down the field. They just weren't. And we talked about the safety play of the Colts, and they played a style of defense that Aaron Rodgers has had fits with this year. And we talked about that ad nauseum, and it proved and it showed you. But the Steelers did something that I love. They chipped away and found a way to score. They just continue to push and push and push. And another thing that I will give the Steelers credit for, and I got to give Mike Tomlin credit for it today, is the team showed up ready to play, and they didn't allow the 2 weeks prior to hurt them today against the number one seed right now in the AFC, and that was the Indianapolis Colts, and probably still is. Mike Miller in the house. Way to go, Steelers Nation against the Colts. JPJ, 2 penalties, Slay injury from Challenger. Yeah, JPJ, I told you guys I could care less if he got those penalties today. I really don't think that they need to be under a magnoscope or microscope today. I don't think they need to be magnified because I think if you look at Joey Porter Jr.'s performance today, it was not bad at all. And he was doing an aggressive style of play. And that's all I want to see from Joey Porter Jr. Guys, yeah, his penalties were penalties. But this league, you got to remember, you can't touch a fucking soul. That hit on Pittman by Jalen Ramsey, I don't know how that's a penalty. I don't understand it. He just knocked the dog shit out of that guy. That's it. Let's talk real quick about the Pittsburgh Steelers and what they did offensively. Let's go to Aaron Rodgers in a 27-20 win against the Indianapolis Colts, the former 7-1, now 7-2 Indianapolis Colts. Aaron Rodgers today, 25 of 35 for 203 yards and 1 touchdown. I think that's respectable. I think he took what the defense gave him today and he made quick work of the Colts today. So I'm happy about that and Aaron Rodgers and what he was able to do. Let's look at the Steelers receiving core and what they were able to do and talk about the leaders today in the clubhouse for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the wide receiver room in the past game in general. You look at Calvin Austin, 5 catches, 56 yards. Darnell Washington, 4 catches, 43 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 4 catches, 35 yards. Pat Fryermuth starting to get more involved. Had a score today, 3 catches, 27 yards. Jonnu Smith starting to get involved a little bit, 3 catches, 25 yards. Caleb Johnson, 1 catch, 9 yards. But you look at that statistic, or those statistics there, guys, and 3 of the 4 tight ends are on the top of the list in terms of passing yardage for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think that's a direction they also want to continue to go as they watch this offense try to get in sync here a little bit. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and their rushing game today. On the ground, you had Jalen Warren leading everybody with 16 carries, 31 yards. Caleb Johnson coming in, getting a carry, 4 yards. Cameron Hayward had a carry. Aaron Rodgers had a carry, scrambled. Kenneth Gainwell, -1 yard. So the Steelers weren't able to rush the football effectively, guys, either. And I thought that that's a problem too today when we talk about things that they could do better. And I don't think they rushed the ball effectively at all. I think that that was a big reason also that you didn't see them get to push the ball down the field when they weren't able to run the ball as effectively as they would want to. You're not going to be able to push the ball down the field because those safeties continue to stay in that too high shell and causing fits for Aaron Rodgers in terms of getting the football down where they needed to be. But overall, man, big game for the Steelers. We'll talk about the Steelers defense and talk about the leaders there and what happened today also. Can we get a win against? Yeah, I hope they get a win, man, Mike. Mike Miller, we ain't seen you, fair weather fan, Mike Miller. Good to see you, Mike. Another Wombat, 888. I guess if I had to say a negative, I'm a little disappointed that they only got 27 points on 6 turnovers. Absolutely, me too. But we also have to take into consideration this too, another Wombat. That was a very, very good football team that you were playing. Very good. And sometimes you battle, and however it shakes out, it shakes out. It is what it is. Challenger says shut down Taylor. Yeah, and that was the difference in this ball game, guys. They shut down Jonathan Taylor, and that right there, that's what won the Steelers the game. That and the turnovers. Jonathan Taylor being absolutely ineffective was huge for the Steelers. Another one back coming in again. Does defense look good though? I think we're just gonna be feast or famine. Yeah, here's the thing with this defense. I think it needs what it got today, and that was that dumbed down version of the defense, allowing players to play. And again, I think Kyle Duggar stepped in and played pretty well. But if you look at the Colts and what they were able to do so far this season, I mean, Daniel Jones coming in with over 2,000 yards passing, now leaving almost at 2,500 yards passing for the year after today's game. That's big for the Steelers. Jonathan Taylor just scoring game after game after game and just really being so good for your Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was definitely a breath of fresh air, man. Black and Gold just became a member. Thank you, Black and Gold, for becoming a Mike Drop Sports member. We appreciate that. Thank you. Definitely much appreciated. Let's get back in the chat to everybody here real quick. I'm going to try to skip around a little bit if I have to. I'm going to try to catch up in the comments here. Daniel Warman says, my Bengals suck, but sure are fun to watch. That was good, man. I knew it was a good game. I kept seeing the highlights pop up there, so that's pretty good. That it's an exciting game for you to at least get to watch. I hate it when teams suck and have a bad record, but they're not fun to watch. I like it at least being fun to watch. Mark Malone 279. Yeah, the Bungs took a pounding in the end. Good to see you, Mark. Extra Black in the house. Steelers must find a true and bigger number 2 wide receiver. Yeah, they got to figure out who's going to be that definitive number 2. I don't like it by committee. I like my committee players to be that 3, 4, 5 on the wide receiver depth chart. I want my 2 main targets, and I think that DK definitely is that. I think he dropped the football though that should have been fucking caught, but that's regardless, neither here nor there. They ended up winning, but I still think Extra Black's right. They need another big time target to help this offense out. I think that will open things up for the tight end room too, because then teams aren't going to be able to solely focus on the tight ends, and they're going to have trouble guarding 2 players plus a run game. And you have guys in the back end too with Calvin Austin. You have guys like Roman Wilson. You have guys like Scotty Miller. You have guys, Ben Skoranek. You have those players lower down on the depth chart that would definitely really feast off of having an extra wide receiver and true number 2. Extra Black, Roman Wilson, shaking my head. What was that? I don't know, man. I really don't know. It was foolish, no doubt about it. Challenger, Bengals took the lead. Williams throws a pass to the tight end with 17 seconds left. Steelers must try to find a younger quarterback too. Yeah, Slay sucks, guys. I freaking hate Slay, dude. I think he's absolutely terrible. Panthers beat the Packers. Yeah, that was another shocker to me. It's like, come on, dude. Daniel says this NFL is rigged for 3 Steelers just playing. I wish we would win a hell of a lot more if they were rigged for the Steelers. You ain't lying there. We'd win a hell of a lot more. We wouldn't be out. We would have won a playoff game in the last decade if it was rigged for the Steelers. I hear you, man. I know you're joking. Challenger Steelers had a lot of drops early in the game. Yeah, it took them a while to find their footing, no doubt. 81 baby Jason brother, we pulled one out. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I love it. My Floyd is pink. Still don't understand the muff punt situation. Me either. I thought that's a live ball. I don't understand why that was ruled dead right there. I thought that was a tutty for Eccles, man. I thought that was a tutty. I thought I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the rules. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Extra Black, the offense numbers are not good at all. Every team will continue to double team him. Steelers must find someone else to help move the chains. Yeah, I think they needed to. But if we were talking about the Steelers struggling over the last couple weeks prior to this game, I don't think it was to blame on the offense. I think they've scored points. I think they've held up to their end of the bargain. I just think the defense played really, really bad the last 2 weeks prior, and that's why the Steelers are in the situation they are. I'm happy with 5-3 at this point. I think they needed that win more than we even realized. That win was could be a win that catapults them a little bit further. We'll see, but definitely they do need a target, no doubt, a wide receiver target, because you cannot continually play the tight end sets that you do without having any versatility. You got to be able to put two wideouts out there that demand respect. Two wideouts that normally, if they were out there by themselves, are going to get double teamed. That's what you need right now for the Steelers. That's the missing piece to the offense, no doubt about it. 81, baby, we have to be more aggressive. We can't be complacent during the middle of the quarter, especially when we are gifted prime field position. Yeah, I agree. And I think also there toward the end of the game, or toward, what was it, halftime, Mike Tomlin there, it was another example of gross clock mismanagement when they allowed 30 seconds basically to come off the clock there before the half. It was all about killing the clock, not giving the opportunity to the Colts. But that sequence was absolutely stupid. I don't understand why waste so much time there. It made zero sense to me. But whatever. I guess Boswell field goals are okay. I'll take it. It is what it is. But it was definite gross mismanagement and poor situational football by Mike Tomlin. Yeah, he gets hurt every game. I just think he's a turd right now. I think he's a shell of himself, and I just don't think he wants to be physical, man. 81, baby. I say O line or nose tackle in the first round and cornerback or wide receiver in the second. Oh, you're talking about the draft. I ain't talking about the draft, guys. Sorry. We're in season right now, 81. I ain't talking about that draft. I could care less what they do right now with the draft. If they fall off the face of the map, we'll start talking draft, I guess. But I'm not talking drafted with a first place football team. There's just no way. They got a lot of ball ahead of them right now, man. Let's go over that Steelers defense, guys, real quick, and talk about the leaders defensively. Cam Hayward had a lot of assists today. I thought his presence was felt, but when you look at the Steelers defense, you had Peyton Wilson with 9 tackles, solo, 4 assists. He had an interception and caused another. Joey Porter Jr. today, 7 tackles, 1 assist. Also, another interception, and he got credit for a sack, I do believe. Keanu Benton had a sack. You look at TJ Watt had a sack. I thought TJ Watt played really well today. I thought Alex Highsmith, for the most part, played really well today. I'm still missing Nick Herbig. I need to see him more, guys. I don't think he was out there enough. I think they're fumbling that with him. He is a good ball player, and I honestly, he got to see the field a lot more than he's seeing it, and I think it's total disrespect. But right there, guys, are the Steelers leaders defensively. There is a longer list, but that is the leaders. When you're talking about Steelers statistically on defense and what they were able to do today in a 27-20 win against the Indianapolis Colts. So that's what we'll do. Steve Winters in the house. What's up, Jason? Love the way we played today. Obviously, still need to improve in certain areas, but we'll take a good win against a really good team. Good to see you, Steve. Absolutely, man. You got to take that, guys. You got to take the win, and you got to be hype about what Steve just said. A quality win against a quality opponent. And they caused a lot of turnovers, guys. The Colts haven't turned the ball over barely at all before entering this game. Daniel Jones had only thrown 3 interceptions the entire season prior today, and he threw 3 interceptions today against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And yes, some of that had to do with the pass rush, no doubt about it, but 3 interceptions nonetheless, bringing his total to 6 interceptions. They doubled Daniel Jones's interception total for the year in one game today. Let that sink in. Your interception total doubled today, and Daniel Jones definitely, I thought, played well at times delivering the football. He looks like he has a super strong arm. He's highly accurate. But the Steelers were able to force him in mistakes. And we talked about the pressure, 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 pressure. It had to be, man. And I think they did the job, man. They did the job today. Grim Medusa, what's up, man? He's in the house. Za Curry, hey, let's fucking go. That's from Za. Uh, 81 baby says, I think I like Ramsey at safety. I like Ramsey anywhere. I do. I think he's one of the few shining spots of the Pittsburgh Steelers defensively. And yeah, he's had some moments where he hasn't looked the greatest in the world. But I think overall, once he settles in during a game, I think he really, really does it up. Sorry, our things will not, our emojis won't show up there, but Steve putting a bunch of emojis in there. We appreciate that from Steve. Zah says he's pumped, baby. Mm-hmm. Me too, guys. But you look at this game today, and I got to keep everything in perspective. Yes, the Steelers were able to win. Yes, they were able to cause a lot of turnovers. But now you head out to face the Chargers, a football team that's not bad and can do a lot of the same things the Colts can do. And you look at the Chargers team, you're going out, you're playing on the road, you're at a disadvantage. That's why I was really, really thankful today that the Pittsburgh Steelers were able to gain that win at home, because you have games now coming up against the Chargers on the road. Then you're back at Acrisure for a game against the Bengals. Then you're in Chicago, back at home again in Buffalo, then at Baltimore, back at home again against Miami. Then you're on the road for two, Detroit and Cleveland, and at home at Baltimore. But you're looking at a lot of these games. One, two, three, four. Four out of the next two, four, six. Four out of the next six, or seven there are on the road. And winning on the road is really, really hard. Do we extend Ramsey? Here's the thing: when you're talking about that 81, that's next year type thing. Also, you got to take age into consideration and deal in consideration. You're not going to go out there and re-sign him for 20, 30 million bucks. You're just not. I don't care how good he is. He's not, with his age. It just can't happen. Let's see what the Steelers do this year. And see what they do this year in terms of who would they be willing to bring back? Let's just say they make a deep run. You're just going to have to focus on the people that played the biggest roles. And then, yeah, you try to bring them back the best you can. And again, what was the Steelers team made up of all really this year? Is a bunch of guys on short deals. So you go back out and you re-up and you try to figure it out again. But that's a conversation for the offseason. Mark Malone, he signed for like 3 more years if they want to keep Ramsey. Oh, there you go. I don't even know his contract. So, yeah, there you go, man. Maybe they'll be able to rework it too, Mark, to where maybe they can lower his cap hit and lower his salary or something. I don't even know his contract. Again, guys, we're talking conversations that are off-season conversations. I am not studied up on current contracts right now. Once the off-season is over, I forget all that stuff. That's a bunch of numbers. I know it during the offseason. We talk about it. But right now, I don't know all their contracts. I don't know the length of deals right now. I just don't. No cap hit to cut him. Well, there you go. That's a good thing, too. But yeah, that's all off-season stuff. So it is what it is. Yeah, but good game today. I'm really, really happy, man, that the Steelers were able to pull this off, because I thought they had to have this. This was probably the most important game that they've played so far this year, hands down. And I know it isn't even a divisional opponent, but it's an AFC conference opponent, and it was the best team in football. They were. They were the best team in football. It's okay that what we're here for. Oh, you're here for it. There you go. Hey guys, I forget a lot of this shit. Yeah, because I just don't pay attention to it. I don't. Once I don't have to no more. Once we're not talking about it here on the channel, I don't care anymore, because I'm in season mode. I'm ready to watch the Steelers play ball. And I know it sucks sometimes when they lose. And yeah, the bozos. I don't know how they pulled this one off, but maybe they listened to us at Mike Drop Sports this week. Dumb it down, stupids. Maybe they listened. Mark Malone, I never forget shit, no matter how much booze I'm drinking. Good for you. I always forget shit, Mark. Some people got photographic memories. All right, anything else you guys want to talk about before we get off of here, man? Again, this isn't going to be a super long post game show, but we're very thankful for a 27-20 Pittsburgh Steelers win. We thought it was going to be a 28-14 win. But we were close. So, man, I want to hit it one day. Just one time, I want to hit it on the nail, right on the head. I want to hit that. Definitely would be really cool to get the score right exactly. I've been really close a couple times. Last year, I think I scored the Steelers. I was like off one for the Steelers and like two points for the away team at a home game last year. I was like super close. I've never been able to get it, man. I'm so like that's like what I try to do every week. When I'm like doing the pregame show and we're talking about scores, that's what I think about the whole way through the show. I'm like, come on, what score can I guess this week? And man, I was close. I was so fucking close today. I was one off from the Steelers and what, five off or six off from the Colts score. Jason, if the Colts player fumbled the ball on a punt, wouldn't you be able to return it for a touchdown? Don't understand the difference if it bounced off of him. I don't get that rule either, man. I thought it was a live ball. I don't get it either, Steve. 81 baby says, oh, our O line needs to keep the pedal down. We can't rely on the D to manufacture decent field possession all game. We flash, but by the time we get closer to December, I hope the chemistry will form. Yeah, and that's what we're going to continue to hope for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that they continue to grow. And we were seeing that growth prior to the 2 weeks prior. We were seeing growth, minute growth, but we were seeing growth each and every week. And it was starting to become really, really cool to see. But they took two giant steps back the last 2 weeks. And it was really, really refreshing to see them get back on track. Now they need to rip off a handful of wins here, guys. I think they come into some winnable games. I really, really do. When we look forward here, you look at that Chargers game. I think it's going to be a difficult game, but I think it's a game that the Steelers definitely can win. I do. And I think Steeler fans show up out west because a lot of Steeler fans are displaced. A lot of people don't stay in Pittsburgh. A lot of people spread throughout the country. So I think Steeler fans will show up there and be ready to go. So I think that's a winnable game for the Steelers for sure. And then I think they should have beat the Bengals the first time. They should have. I think they're a better football team right now than the Cincinnati Bengals. So there's two I think they can win, and I don't think the Chicago Bears are good. I think Caleb Williams is a fucking fraud. I talked about that all last year. I talked about it before they ever drafted him. I thought it was a big mistake. I don't think he's good. I thought Jaden Daniels was the hands down best quarterback out of that draft. And I'll stand by that to this day. I think he has proven it too. But yeah, I think that's three winnable games there. And then you run into Buffalo. I think that's the next time in my eyes that's a 50-50 game to me, or even maybe 60-40 in the favor of Buffalo there. But I like the chance for the Steelers right now to rip off three more wins in a row. If they can go on a 4-game winning streak heading into that 425 matchup on November 30th against the Buffalo Bills at home, that's a lot of momentum, guys. And I would like our chances at home against the Bills if that were to be the case. So I would like the Steelers to come out of this, get three more wins, come into that Buffalo game 8-3, really flying high. And that way, if you're 8-3 coming into that game, if you play the Bills and you fall a little bit short, because they're a good football team and they're playing right now against the Chiefs, and they were up 7-0 whenever I walked up the stairs. But you go into that game 8-3, and that's another signature type win right there if you can get it. I like our chances heading into December, man. I really would. And then Baltimore, Miami, Detroit, Cleveland, and Baltimore. And I think that there's a one, two, three, four. I think there's 4 or 5 winnable games there too. I do. I don't think Detroit's unbeatable. I don't think Miami. I think that's a win. I think the Steelers right now. Yes, they have a difficult schedule, no doubt, but I think there's some wins in there. I think the Steelers could get that. And, I'll say they lose. Man, Honestly, if they could come out of this year and only lose 2 more games the rest of the way, I think that I think it's doable. I do. I think they could win two, only lose 2 more. That's if they play like they played today. I think they got to continue to make improvements, but I could see a path where that happens. I'm behind on this, but I think Nick Herbig is on a play count to keep him healthy. I don't know. I don't believe in play counts unless somebody's really injured, and Nick Herbig's not injured. So I don't know, Scott. I really, really don't, bud. But it frustrates the living shit out of me to see him not in the game. And I liked Alex Highsmith today. I thought he played well, but I still want to see more of Nick. They gave us Buffalo at the end of the year so the snow can win the game for them. It's at home, so you're probably not going to get the snow like you would get in Buffalo. So it's at home in Pittsburgh. The Buffalo Bills will play the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday, November 30th at Acrisure Stadium at 4:25 p.m. And that might even get flexed into a night game if the Steelers rip off 3 wins here against the Chargers, Bengals, and the Bears. This could be really interesting, guys. And I think the NFL wants it like this. And we always talk about the NFL getting what it wants. It wants the Pittsburgh Steelers to be 8-3, headed up against the Buffalo Bills and them having 1, 2, 3 losses, whatever they have. They want that matchup because that is going to be a massive ratings game for them. A massive. And don't think for 1 minute that what I'm talking about won't happen. I'm telling you. The Steelers winning the next 3 games is in the best interest of the NFL. The best interest in terms of ratings, in terms of what that game will mean for the conference, and what that game will mean for the league as a whole. I'm telling you guys, we'll watch and see. I'm gonna pick the Steelers to rip off 3 straight here after this, which will give them a 4-game win streak. I'd look for them to be 8-3 heading into that Buffalo Bills game, and I look for it to be a massive, massive game because that's what the NFL wants. No, it's at home, it's at home, bro. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here, man. I'm talked out. Nobody showed up at halftime to watch. Only a few people, and I appreciate you guys. So I only did like a 5-minute live, but I got to bring something else up. When I was talking about Mike Tomlin and talking about the Roonies making the Rooney Rule earlier, people get their panties in a bunch, and you can't say anything bad about Mike Tomlin or talk about the truth. So people unsubscribed. And it tells me who unsubscribed, so I know. It tells me in my analytics. So when you go through there, it'll say like some new subscriber, unsubscribed. If you go into your YouTube analytics page, there's a place for that you can find it. But you have to you can't use the app. You have to go in to the actual website for the analytics, and you can see it there. But man, people are so lame, man. It's like, if you can't handle the truth, you shouldn't be on the internet. Honestly, truth is what it is, dude. Mike Tomlin's made many blunders, and it is what it is. He made it. He made a had a good game tonight, or good game today, and I'm proud of it. But when he fouls up, Jason's pointing it out, and I still think he's a bozo. I'm sure he's a wonderful man. I'm sure he's cool to talk to. I'm sure he's a cool person to have as a friend. But as a football coach, I think he's a dick beater. Period. I don't know what to say. Regardless of the win today, that's what I think. What's up, TD? Good to see you, man. All right, guys, we're bouncing out of here, my friends. Jason is talked out for the day. I had enough. We'll be back tomorrow night. And I am filming tonight a morning upload. That way we can start getting those going back up again. I do those occasionally, but I'm going to get them going again, those pre-recorded videos. That way you can have a holler and listen to Steelers football tomorrow morning at some point. Maybe we'll see if I can get it to upload at like 5 a.m. or something. We'll see. I'm going to try to film it tonight, but I have some studying for work tests to do. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, guys, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. If you're not subscribed, what the fuck you waiting for, guys? Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're liking, sharing, all that good stuff. Peace.
Power takes an approach as a coach. Let's go. Let's go.
It's a field back block, and that's
Guy that throws his body around.
Mike Drop Sports.
Live.